minutes late. Sorry about that. Very busy day today. Friday is our chicken processing day, and we had a lot of them. Um, I do like to report, right? I do like to report when things go well. Um, the way this farm is, what went on here yesterday and what went on here today are two completely different things, right? So that's kind of one of the things about a homestead. That day to day, things can be very, very different, extremely different. And so we had about 150 chickens today that we needed to process. And we got that done, did a good job. Didn't have anything break down, didn't have anybody get hurt, cut, no fights amongst the personnel. Very mundane. We didn't have anybody helping us today because, you know, these days, if anybody gets a cold, you feel as though you should tell everybody, you know, like, hey, there's a cold in the house. Is it the Wu flu? Probably just a cold, but I don't know. It's a cold, you know. People have aches and pains. My neck, I had just really stiff neck all day today, right here. It's a little bit better now. But I took something. I took some aspirin. Yeah, it could be the Delta variant. You never know. That's what I asked Jill. I don't know. Well, let's not talk about that now. Not just yet. Unless you guys want to talk about it. Because Friday night is Open Line Friday. I am really proud to say that we worked hard today, and I am a bit tired, but I feel pretty good. You know, I'm feeling like I got a good day's work in, and after that, I did some really decent cleanup that I haven't done in a while. I actually made a video about it. I put it on the tribe so you all could see it, but the calf pen, and the calf pen is a place, you know, there's a lot to a calf pen. If you put a calf in there and the cows on the other side, you got to have a really stout fence between them so that there isn't any kind of mingling, right, commingling. So after I finished with chickens, my part of it anyway, I was the killer today. Nowadays, I'm always the killer because nobody else really wants to do it. And if I'm doing that, I'm outside, I'm by myself, and I don't mind that too bad. You know, I step in once in a while and walk up behind the old lady and give her a squeeze, but mostly I'm by myself, and that's okay. So we didn't have any helpers today. Last couple of weeks we've had, you know, friends and, you know, nephews and nieces and all this stuff, and they come and help us, and the parents think it's a good idea because it'll help them to learn how to work and stuff. But it is kind of a pain to me. Not enough that I would say no. It's just that when I don't have to watch anybody else's kids, I'm not really watching them. It's just that, like with my kids, they know if you need to walk up to the house to go to the bathroom, you better say something to Dad before you walk off. And Dad will say, oh, use the outhouse. Well, that way I can kind of keep an eye on them. So they go to the outhouse, and I am kind of looking at the old stopwatch there, and I know there won't be any kind of, you know, lollygagging going on. But if we have kids helping us, they'll disappear, and we'll find them upstairs in the house, you know, playing with Legos or something. And that, you know, that happens. It takes a lot of training. But so we didn't have any helpers today, so it was kind of a nice day. I don't mind. Don't get me wrong here. Especially, I know Dion's on here. We wouldn't mind having little Dion come and help us sometime. Not at all. But when you have a day with you don't have to run herd on anybody, that's kind of it's nice. It's really nice, and the equipment just worked flawlessly today, and we didn't have a whole bunch of turkeys to do. When you have turkeys to do, it's actually Mortal Kombat, and I did have one, and it was a big one, and it wouldn't fit in the bucket, and I actually had to use the mohashti on it, which I don't like to do, but I couldn't get this thing out of the cage. It was a big one, and it had really, it knew something was coming. So you can get hurt doing that. And every now and then I will just, it was in a small cage, and its wings could spread out, and it was too strong. I couldn't, I would have had to take the cage apart or break his wings. And when I reached in there, he would flap, and then the talons come up, and you can get hurt really bad. So I split his skull with a 22 mag, and that was the end of it. Bled right out right there, and it was quick. I hate to use a rifle bullet to do it, but that's the way it goes. So when I finished, then I decided that I was going to clean the calf pen out. I had been composting in there all season, all chicken season, and I thought it was a point of interest because a lot of people that watch us are probably thinking, yeah, you know, down in my neighborhood, if I started processing chickens, I could make some extra money. And I say, hey, go for it. It's worked really well for us. And don't worry, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Actually, I'll show you what I know. I'll tell you what I know. I think it's a good idea that there'd be more chicken processors around, actually. I'm not worried about competition. We came up to the house after we finished, and I asked Jill if she would listen to the messages to see a guy was going to come get a pig tomorrow. He said he'd let me know via message. And so Jill listened to the messages. There was six, count them, people wanting to make appointments to process chickens. So today, I don't know, was it 200 or 160 or 180? I don't know. It was up there. But do the math on that. We dedicated one of our days, worked as a family, and you know, $4 a bird. So if it's a if it's a 200 bird day, that's 8 bills. There it is. There it is. You know, we don't like to talk about money on here or religion, but there it is. And if you do any cutting or back sealing or anything extra, if anybody wants gizzards peeled or anything else, everything, there's fair trade for the labor that we're providing. Even if we just put people's feet in a bag, you know, we charge for it, right? Because the bag costs 10 cents. And, you know, I'm paying people to do this, and we clean them before we put them in, right? So everything costs, and it's a good day's work. And if you have kids and you're wanting to train them to be good workers, and I don't mean just for you, but when they get out into the world, if they're good workers, they are so far ahead of the game now, it is not funny. It is not funny. So as adults and parents, we should be, you know, involving our kids in the work that we're doing. And they may not like it, but they probably don't like going to bed on time either, or they don't like eating their, you know, Krispy Kreme donuts. You got to make them do it, but you know, you got to do it, and they'll thank you for it later on. Let's see, when was the last time I told my kids, you're going to thank me for this later on? Oh yeah, I remember now. It was after I got done screaming at them. Yeah. But anyway, so I did that. I got some composting done, and I started a job, and I worked right up until quarter till, and then I came in, and Jill had 2 nice big rare hamburgers for me because I was hungry. And I wolfed them down, and here I am. Here I am. Feeling pretty good. Open Line Friday, it's where we get to talk about you guys' stuff. So, what do we want to talk about? I'm on my own. Jill took off with Rachel, and they went to get pizzas. All right, so you finish up at 7:45, and it's like nobody wants to cook, and a little bit extra cash laying around. Pizza, yeah, not a bad idea. I'm not going to be eating any of it, but if that's what they want to eat, I guess they can handle it. I've had my fill of pizzas over the years. I still have my grubby clothes on. I'm still covered with blood. My legs are all bloody. Went swimming this morning. Had a good start to the day. It was a good day. It was actually a good day. And I guess I'm saying that because you only have so many of them, and there could come a time when, well, I worked hard today, and you basically got your clothes on, and that was it. You worked hard, right? Remember Jill's grandpa, I had said something to him, why don't we go do something? He said, oh no, I got too much work to do. And I'd be looking around and be like, this house is really uptight, and it's a waterfront house, and he pays somebody to cut his lawn, and this and that. I'd be kind of like, what is it that you have to do here? You know, he's, oh, I got a lot to do. And it was really fun because he was a farmer and a business owner. And so in his closet, which was the downstairs bathroom, the closet was in there. And it was always open, and you'd see his uniforms hung in there, you know. And his uniforms were like Dickies, you know, and they matched. And he wore green ones, right? So green bottoms, green tops. Didn't have his name on them, I don't think, but they were all hung up in there, you know. And he'd put them on, you know. He'd get up in the morning, he'd put them on, and then he'd work. I, you know, he just puttered around the place, but it was pretty good. He had work to do, and he was dead set to do it. Yeah, really like that old guy. Been gone quite a long time now, like 10 years. Yeah, I think about him all the time. So anyway, what is it that you all wanted to talk about? I haven't seen anybody chiming in. We got 18 people. All right, let's see. Brittany's with us, Jack's with us, Inga's with us, Dion with the Delta variant. Dion is with us. Blasting headache all day. Bones are sore as all get out. That's the same thing that's going on here, Inga. And I didn't want to say anything, but that's the same thing that was going on here. Jill's been sick for 2 days, and today she's just kind of coming around. Put in a good day today, too. The other night, the night before last, I got in bed, and she was actually hot to the touch. And I don't mean like fever hot. It was almost like heat lamp hot. And I said, boy, you're hot. And she said, I know, but keep the light out. Don't turn the light on. But she was smoking hot. And then I said, are you sick? And she said, well, something's not right. You know, you don't want to say, oh, I'm sick. You don't want to say it because you might have the Wu flu, right? Even though, so what? But I said, did you take anything for it? And she said, yep. So that means she took vitamin, zinc, probably a little horse paste, and some ivermectin. And last night her hips hurt and her shoulders hurt. And but today she was okay. This morning, all right, I got up. My hips hurt, but that can happen if I sleep wrong. You know, my hips hurt, and I had a really stiff neck. But I felt good. I felt great. I went out and I swam and all that stuff. But she said, you better get some ivermectin going. And I was like, nah, I don't think I want to. And she said, well, okay, you'll be sick tomorrow. You know what's coming. So we got a football game tomorrow, and I really want to go to it. So I took it. So those of you that know what I'm talking about, if you go to the pharmacy and get a doc to write you a script for ivermectin, they won't fill it, a lot of them. But you can go to the Farm and Fleet store or Tractor Supply and you can get ivermectin in a tube. And they're making a lot of fun of it in the mainstream media, calling it horse paste. And it is, it's paste, and it's for horses. You can use it to worm them and things like that. But ivermectin's been around a long time. I've been using it around here for a real long time. It's a wormer, but it's very effective against COVID-19. And so, there you go. All right, Claire. Dog barking out there. That's the key. Clifford Robinson. That's the key, yeah. So I took a little bit, and what we are doing is we're just taking just enough to fill a teaspoon, not completely full, but just maybe a dot in there about the size of a penny, right? And sort of flat. And what you want to do, here's how you want to do it. The stuff is gross. I don't care what flavor it is, it's gross. You do not want to taste it. You don't want to just like lick the spoon off, like, and it's sort of like peanut butter. So if you put it on a spoon, it's gonna stick, and to get it off, you're gonna have to like tongue it off or lip it off or something like that. So what you do is you take the spoon and you put olive oil in it, some sort of oil, not motor oil, and then you squirt the thing out so it looks about like a penny. It's not going to hurt you if you OD on it. You're not going to overdose on it. And then whoop, just take it down. And you know, if you get exposed to somebody who's been vaccinated, you just want to clarify. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if that's what's doing it, but I've heard that it can. So the only contact we've had was with just a couple people last weekend that we really didn't really want to avoid, and they don't seem to be sick, but they've had the vaccine for quite a long time. So there you go. Luann saying, it's a parasite killer, that's the deal, parasites in the jab. I learned to put gel in capsules from my nurse buddy. Hey, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's a good idea. You know what else you can put in gel capsules is, this might sound a little strange, but your gut bacteria or your gut flora, right, should be very diversified. And if you're eating like Americans eat, you know, well, I have Stouffer's this for Wednesday, I have macaroni and cheese on Friday, I have fish and chips on this day, and you're eating all this really sterile, clean food, your gut flora can decrease, and you won't have the capacity to fully digest things like, you know, good quality meats, good quality vegetables and all that. And good quality meats and vegetables have the nutrients in them that you need, right? So you shouldn't be taking that Centrum Silver. You should be getting it from your food. But you have to get your machine working. You know, it has to be working well so it will digest. And so what you need to do, honestly, is anytime you're out and about and you wind up some other place, look around for a spot like a fence line, you know, or a patch of woods. Like even in town, a patch of woods, no one's farmed that. You know, people walk through it and they dump their clippings in it or whatever, but it hasn't been farmed. And you may have trees that are growing there that drop leaves and they digest, and it would be a good place to take some dirt, you know, clear the leaves back, take some dirt,